for me, it started back in 1994. Actually, I think that was the first World Cup I ever remember watching. Um, and I watched, and then 98 when we qualified. Because I think in we had when Rene Simoes became the football coach in Jamaica back then, was a big thing because his daughter actually went to my school, Immaculate. So I remembered when he was a part of the Reggae Boys from then, and that's when it started. Obviously, football was big from prep school. I didn't play football in prep school, but I was my prep school Vice Prep had a big good boys football team. So I was exposed to football in Jamaica from a young age. So when the World Cup came around and I learned about it, and then when we qualified, I was a big thing and all the national pride and everything. So I started learning about the players from then. Alan Shearer, like a bunch of the English players, because at the time that's what, obviously because of our roots, that's who I was familiar with outside of Jamaica. So that's how I knew some of the players from back then. And then as the years came by, I would watch it same way, hoping that we'd qualify, but we didn't. I knew about CONCACAF, and then I started watching the Premiership and the Champions League over in Europe and the European leagues, the Bundesliga, and some of the leagues, that Hispanic teams. So I'm familiar with those type of club football and also the football from the different countries. So I'm exposed to the players from then. So me now watching the World Cup, is not just anything new. It's never new. Obviously the players are nice looking and all of that, but I am into it on the technical level, knowing about the sports. Not as much as my mom. Like she's like on it, like 100%. She knows everything. So what I don't know, she makes up for it. And then daddy is the same thing. So my love for football has been there. I'm no bandwagonist, and I follow. There's some teams that I follow. Like when I was in Jamaica, everybody was always Brazil, Brazil, Brazil. So that was nothing. Pele and all the other players in there, and obviously we know about Maradona from Argentina and a bunch of other players from Colombia. So I'm familiar with the players from those teams. So it's like I think a lot of the Caribbean people have individual players that they know and they happen to represent. I think because some of them represent on the club level, so we know them and we love them, and we tend to maybe follow them on their country level when they do play. For me, my heart is with England. I love France's team because of them, Dembele, Mbappe, and a few other players. Like when Belgium was playing, Lukaku is on it, Mo Salah is on it because he was on Manchester United, which is my team. Andre's team is Arsenal. So that's another thing too. That's how I ended up still loving the game and knowing a lot of the players, knowing some of the coaches. And so me following right now, there's certain teams that I have love for them and I watch them and I root for the players on there and I respect the game and stuff. But yeah, you hear me cheering hard for England because they're the team that I know the most. Oh, and the Jamaican team now that is there, I don't know them that much. I know more of the older team, the players from the old school days from when I was growing up, but it's still love. I still love the game. I still cheer for the game. I still when the bad calls are made. This VAR business has changed it a little bit because it kind of take out a lot of the fun out of it and the ref making the calls, and yeah, we're gonna cuss because we don't think it's the right call, but then for them to make the call and then VAR come in and say and change that, it pissed me off in a sense, but I guess you have to get used to it. So, but yeah, that's my little take on everything. But yeah, it's just love, love, and the mere fact that World Cup bring everybody together and all this camaraderie. It's been a little bit different in the States now because I don't know, it's just been critiqued a little bit more this year watching it because the Americans have been there's some of the newer ones because it's here they're finding out about it, and I've always wanted football to be a little bit more over here, and as Darren Beckham brought the stadium to Miami and then when Messi came along, that kind of helped with the football over here, and I never call it the S word, and that's what I call it, and anybody that hear say it, I won't adopt it, even though when they talk about the history that it came originally from over there, but I still don't call it that word and I won't say it. You know what it is. So I watch football in Spanish. I don't know, the Americans, I don't know, I can't listen to them. Um, they try because they added like European commentators to try to help Thierry Henry and Zlatan to try to make it people be more prone to tuning in. But this whole entire World Cup, I have not watched it on any of those networks. I happen to see the reels on social media, but that's about it. And the question how everybody asks what happened after the World Cup done. When World Cup done, football done. Football's just as a start. So everybody, if you wanna be more linked into when the next one come, start watching the club football. Start watching the Premiership and the Champions League and the German in Bundesliga and all the other leagues from South America and whatever. So you can see the players that you see in the World Cup and watch them and watch how they play and watch their style of play. So when you see them play, you can tell, okay, yeah, man, that person did really die. Because people nowadays are judging what they're seeing based on their lack of knowledge of football. Sorry, my dog is making that noise.